YouTube family, my name is Elysia English and welcome back to my channel. This morning I spent about 6 hours emptying this room in our house here to be able to create my own studio space. There is so much to do in this space and we're gonna get started right away. I'm gonna change 2 Ikea glass front Billy bookcases into my dream arched furniture. This is gonna be furniture that can be revamped later. I don't wanna do anything permanent to these just in case I decide that I wanna change it up in the future. But for right now, I wanna use them for storage space in my dream studio. And we're gonna get started on tackling all of the projects that need to happen in this space. If you're not familiar with what Billy bookcases look like, you can get them with just sort of an empty bookshelf look, or you can also get them with these glass fronts. And I did purchase these just recently thinking I would use them on either side of our fireplace that is in our living room. But since we're switching everything over to do wood stoves, I really have no use for these to put them anywhere else in the house. And so I know that if I do a revamp on them, they will be amazing storage to be able to have in this room.
Appalachian sunrise meets my skin. Even with my eyes still closed, I can feel it coming in. Golden, golden, I'll follow only golden, 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 golden things. Mountain Laurel high fives for miles in spring. Rainbow trout and hummingbird wings. Golden.
I've decided I'm just using some plain white house paint. I already have this here, and so I don't want to go out and buy any materials because I'm trying to do this completely on a budget. But if you do have a paint brand that you love, especially if it's a chalk paint, that's a great way to paint on pressboard furniture, especially Ikea furniture. But I'm gonna make my own DIY chalk paint just using the leftover house paint I have by using plaster of Paris, some warm water, and my paint of my choice. And so all I'm gonna do is usually you're about 1/3 cup of plaster of Paris, 1/3 cup of water put into a cup of paint. But there isn't a perfect recipe. If you don't have that much, there really isn't a way to mess this up. As long as you have plaster in it, it's gonna adhere a lot better to your furniture than if you didn't.
I know it's nothing new, but it's so good to see you.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is use a makeup sponge, and I do this when I do my signs, and it always helps me not to have bleeding underneath. When I just do a really light coat all the way around where my stenciled area is, and then I'll use my roller to go over. I'm not gonna sponge paint the whole cabinets. These whole cabinets are gonna be painted white everywhere else, but I'm gonna start with the arches on both first, make sure it works before I get ahead of myself. I'm just gonna blot off some of the paint so it doesn't go underneath, and then make sort of a crisp edge all the way around. This will sort of seal it all up.
I can't believe you love me. I just feel so lucky.
Okay. When I saw the prices of any arched furniture online, I was like, there's no way I'm gonna pay that for the art room. So this could possibly turn into be some pretty beautiful arched furniture for literally no cost at all, other than my initial price for this and leftover paint.
You know I'm here to stay every single day. Yeah. So hold me tight through the night. It's just us two, me and you.
It's still wet, but I'm worried if I peel it off once it's totally dry, that because I put layers of paint there, it's going to peel off. Like if you were to paint on like a glass window or something, it's happened before. So I want to do it while it's still tacky. And I know I'll have some touching up to do underneath. If anything's bled underneath, I can use their little razor blade to do it. But I'm so curious to see if the shape is right before I get any further along here. I have a tiny bit of bleeding from where the tape was at the top, but that was where I peaked earlier, so I knew I was gonna do that to myself. I also haven't been able to paint in here because that's where my vinyl was covering. Do we have an arch?
You have an arch.
Okay, I need to see from the other. I have to hand paint all that. I'm not overly worried about anything that needs touching up yet right now, but more so the shape. Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Does it look cool?
Yeah, it
Okay,
looks
I gotta
great.
stand back. Eee! It worked! Okay, that's awesome. So now I have a lot of like painting to do in here with the little paintbrush, and of course this needs more coats because when you paint white, you're gonna be in for layer after layer. But that was my worry, was pulling that off, was it was gonna peel off once too many layers were on. So I think we're on to something on that for sure. I'm gonna keep going. Got the heater going, and the fan going, getting this to dry quicker, and then I can keep painting.
People come and people go through high streets we know. Dark and light, day and night. No one knows what the future will bring.
The floor is absolutely gorgeous, but with the rug, the rug's gonna make this room.
Rugs are my happy place.
Oh my gosh.
Where is the line between dreaming and feeling blue? It's 4 o'clock in the evening. I haven't left my room, but the truth is, if I'm honest, I feel stuck here in the middle. Am I one of those crazy people? Should I stay here or should I let go? Well, the sheets over my head, hoping change is gonna find me. You don't have to remind me I'm doing nothing at all. I'm ruminating on a blank wall, but I feel stuck here in the middle.
Since I'm creating my dream studio, I really didn't want to sacrifice any style for function, but I know that ordering a really beautiful rug and then putting it on the floor in my studio isn't really an ideal situation. And so when Ruggable reached out to me, I thought this is going to be the perfect solution for me keeping my function and style. And Ruggable is all about the details. And I chose this one, which is now going to be the overall inspiration for my entire studio. And since I want this to be sort of a blank canvas, I really wanted to have that dimension on the floor to really like bring this whole space to life. And I love that. One of the other things that I look for when I'm buying things for a home is companies that have consciousness of what is sustainable for our planet. And I absolutely love that I literally only had just a small pocket full of scrap that was left in a cardboard box that we can now recycle. My rug is washable. I happen to have a brand new wash machine, and the capacity loads for my new wash machine is perfect for this large rug. So overall, I think this is a win for the studio. Let me know what you think of my new rug from Ruggable in the comments section. If you would like to check out Ruggable and see what styles and sizes they have available that would fit your home, use the coupon code FUNELYSIA10 for 10% off your purchase. Link is in the description box. These were left over from doing the cabinets that we did in the living room. I had bought a couple extras thinking we were gonna have a full other set of cabinets, which we didn't have.
Right.
So I didn't return them knowing I would likely use these for another project. But I love the idea of using some of this leather strap that was left over from that backpack that I took apart in my mystery box video, and I shredded the whole backpack and used some of the leather that was on that and then kept all the remnants of that bag. Hidden in my studio boxes have been a bunch of the leather strapping from that backpack. And so my thought was, I love that little leather loop look, and that I could use my screw and create a little leather tab pull. That's my thought, because although this looks a lot more fancy, I think this is kind of more goes with the arch look sort of vibe of this, and I love that it pulls some of that from the carpet.
Can you put the other one side by side? Okay.
I'm aware
Yeah.
Yeah, what's your choice?
I love the leather.
You do like the leather?
Yeah, it gives it a little bit of a texture.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice.
Well, I pulled...
It's you.
Yeah, I think it's more me to have this and to use something upcycled rather than using these handles, which I will likely use for another project. So what I'm going to do is take out more of the leather from this strapping and make myself 2 straps for this one and 2 straps for the one that we haven't painted yet, so they're all identical. And then use a little gold screw, a screw head that has the gold top on it, so that's sort of also a detail, because I feel like everything in this room is going to be all about those details for me if I'm going to make my dream space. And since I'm going with trying to use literally no budget at all, I want to make sure that everything I'm doing in here is something that I like love through and through. So all those little textures are going to mean so much more in the end to the final look of this space. So I think we're going leather. If I mess up, I'm out of leather. No, it's not the time to mess it up. Okay, so I have another side here, but I knew I had just enough, look, to make another side. Extracting more leather. Pretty sure that backpack I bought, I've made maybe 6 different DIY projects with it.
Yeah.
I still have scrap fabric from it, and I'm pretty sure the bag was like $4. And the bag was almost too cute to cut, but I wanted all the leather off of it, which is why it caught my eye at the thrift store, because I wanted this particular color of leather, and it was...
At least you did the bag just. You turned the things into beautiful things.
I did. Sometimes the things you find at the thrift store when you want the pieces off of them are too nice.
Right.
And then you hesitate for a minute, and then I'm like, I'm not gonna wear the backpack anywhere, so I'm gonna use it for something else.
Wish that I could stay. Wish for this moment to never go away. But it's all in my mind. And though I know that there is nothing to find, you're a beautiful sight in the sun.
Oh, darling! I like the leather straps.
And you can't put up a fight in the misty light.
A beautiful cabinet. Dusty from doing work in here, but beautiful cabinet. And I do love, and it did have like the little knobs on that we decided not to do because we thought we were gonna put like a larger handle on it just to give it some more personalization. But then I felt like they were so dark, and it didn't matter what room we put it in. The original idea was to do a super dark wall with the super dark cabinets and then have the fireplace mantle and everything when we first got here. And when that idea changed, it just looked like 2 big blue rectangles on the wall, and it just didn't make sense.
No.
And then with how we built the built-ins, it made that much more like floor-to-ceiling space. It just brightened up the space, opened it all up. It made it so airy and really styled. And then these were like, meh. That's my description of they were just like a dead weight in the room.
Yeah.
They needed uplifting. This, I just feel like is super trendy now with the arch. A lot more inexpensive than if I ordered arch furniture online, because the prices are insane if you can even find any available. And then to also be able to ship to us, not happening. So I think this is a super updated look. So I'm excited to get some pieces in there like style, do some of my custom jars and things where some of my supplies are gonna go. And then I have that hidden storage underneath for like maybe some of those messier containers that aren't so styled in the view. And I'm gonna do the same thing to the second cabinet. I need your opinion. Do you love it? Wait, I feel like I'm on one of those TV shows where they're like, love it or list it. So, okay, so love it or don't DIY it. So love it or leave it. Which one? Love it, leave it. Let me know in the comment section. I personally love it. And I know the whole kind of outcome of what my room's going to look like. So let me give you just a sneak peek into my creative mind on what I want to do to this space. So my idea is second cabinet like this, countertop with some storage underneath in the middle between the 2 cabinets. I'm still deciding on whether I want to do open shelving or if I would like to do something scroll saw out here, since you know that my scrolling is my favorite tool in the shop. I feel like I have to have something scroll sawed in here, maybe a phrase, something, maybe my name, I have no idea. And then think huge workspace island underneath my 2 work lights here. Like huge island, sort of a white faux marble countertop look, with a dark color on the island to give it some weight and really like ground the room. And then I need a setup for a project that I'm not telling you about yet. And then I need a spot for my sewing machine and my cut machines and my computer. And of course, my great big bay windows that are in the studio space here will outlook in the springtime to our beautiful greenhouse we're working on and our garden. So I can't think of a more beautiful spot to have a studio than one that looks out to your English garden. Pretty awesome, I think. So let me know what you guys think. Love my new rug from Ruggable. So thank you so much to Ruggable for sponsoring this video. It's because of brands like Ruggable that not only provide amazing items that we can style and use for the content on our channel, but also to have as wonderful pieces in our home, which is really making our abandoned house here feel like more of a home as we're starting to put in these pieces that we absolutely love. And then creating a studio space here. Love this project. This might end up being my most favorite room in the house. So let me know what you think. Cabinets, rug, creating studio space. Do you have a studio space? If you do, I want to see it. Send me a DM. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow.